Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video, and today I'm taking a look at the 9th Doctor issue 11 in the ongoing series of 9th Doctor ongoing adventures with the of the 9th Doctor, Doctor Who there. You got the Doctor sort of randomly laying out like the TARDIS for some weird reason. All I will say that I do adore about this cover is the Sonic and the way that it's emitting this amazingly weirdly blue light. I do like the new layout of this issue and all these issues now, where they've got the 9th Doctor hashtag, well not hashtag, but 9th Doctor issue 11, Doctor Who, the writers and all that, and then they've got the name of the issue, which is Sin Eaters, and then it's got part 1, so, and that, which I really like. Anyway, then you've got a bio on the Doctor, who the Doctor is, or specifically the 9th, Rose Tyler, Tara, another companion person, what happened previously, Titan Comics website, Twitter and Facebook, and then on the back you've got an advertisement for Torchwood, which if you recall I thought was garbage personally, or the Torchwood comics anyway, digital thing, variant covers for this month's issue, which to be fair I think are really terrible personally, something about digital offer thing, subscription-y digital thing. Then what's out this month from Titan Comics and that other stuff they've done, primarily other Doctor Who things. Variant covers for I think next month, sorry, even again, and then a bio on what's going to happen in the next issue. And then on this side it's got the 9th Doctor, Sin Eaters Part 1, the writer, the artist, the colorist, the letterist, and so on. And you've got an advertisement for the 12th, 10th, and 4th Doctor graphic novels. So yeah, very good. Sorry, but can I just say, very good art work. Just sensational artwork. Love it. I adore it. I mean, what even? This just looks like, you know, some next level Marvel equivalent, you know, to Marvel, like, artwork, really. And I mean, I just adore it. You know, I love this. Like, you know, you got the 9th Doctor, but he's all sort of really sort of viciously horrific. And then you've got, like, the War Doctor, and then Sylvester's Doctor, and, you know, and that just looks creepy to me. And then the way that they've drawn it, and elongated and stretched out McGann's face, and War Doctor's face, and that. You know, it just looks horrific, and there it's got, you know, you've got all the veins and the phlegm and foamy mouth, and just how much he's in pain and that. Because the idea with this episode is that there's this weirdly horrific, try and show you the image, base, this space station, which just looks sensational here. Double spread panel. Like one big double spread page panel. I mean, I would adore this, like, as a poster, you know, framed. It's that good as a, I think it could work as a poster, never mind a comic book piece of art, but, or art in a comic book. I just love it. I mean, this issue is brilliant in terms of both story and, you know, art, I think. A real big step up from issue 9 and 10. Issue 11 has been awesome, really. Again, there's this base, and essentially the reason why it's called the Sin Eater, and that, yeah, Sin Eaters even, the Sin Eaters is because, well, basically in this sort of place, it used to be like this asylum and that, but actually now they're getting rid of, instead of, you know, keeping these insane sort of characters in a prison, they're trying to help them, but by helping them, we mean doing something pretty dangerous to them. They're trying to get rid of their anger, fear, and hate, and that, you know, whether they hate themselves, those around them, their fears of others and themselves, their, you know, anger, hate, fear, any negative emotion is just getting extracted from a person and then just dumped away. And like Rose says earlier in the issue, you know, unlike just taking the weeds out of a garden and then planting, you know, good plants there in replacement of the bad stuff, you know, you just can't do that. You know, this isn't a garden, this is a person we're on about. Judoon there, that looked really cool. I'll be honest, when I flicked through this issue, I assumed the Judoons would be in this a lot more, but they're not. They're literally just there. And if you recall, at the end or the kind of cliffhanger of the last issue that I read, but yeah, just horrifically amazing stuff. Rose, can I just point out, Rose looks stunning here. Like, she looks beautiful. Like, the luscious hair, the way her mouth and makeup has been done, like, or lipstick, should I say, has been done, you know, just her face, she looks stunning. And I want to comment on her costume as well in this issue. I like the fact that it feels kind of like Doctor Who meets Star Trek, because she looks like she's in one of the Star Trek uniforms. Dare I say it? I mean, to be fair, I've watched a few Star Trek episodes here and there, but nothing substantial. And I only really like Next Generation, but that's not the point. I do adore her costume, and as I say, in this panel, she just looks stunning, and I just love that shot. She kind of looks so, I don't know, pretty, glamorous, independent, you know, but just sort of, you know, mature is probably the best way of saying it, you know, like with the long hair. Like in some of the other comics or comic book issues, she's been portrayed a lot more whiny, a lot more sassy, which she has been, and a bit more sort of, I guess, immature, whereas in this issue thus far, she seems to be, you know, holding her own, doing her own thing. But to be fair, that's primarily because it's one of those rare situations where the Doctor's not in control, you know. Look, this is the byproduct of all of his hate and that, you know. And there's McGann again, Pat Troughton, and Mr. Peter Davison, all blobbed together. What I adore about the previous blobby mess version of the Doctor was they have the War Doctor there, but then later on, he talks, I can't remember which bit it is, but he talks about the Time War, or the fact that he hates, and I hate boy, and I hate boy, did I hate, no, he's, you know, he's on about, like, hate, and that he needs it, and then it goes on to say why he needs it, and then she's just like, what, you're just rambling, but he's on about, he's referring to the Time War and what happened, you know, his people becoming, you know, more monstrous than what they were meant to be, and, you know, and the fact that he became a monster and that, and I like that, because earlier we see that, you know. But again, the thing is, they extract the hate, to my knowledge, into this, like, into another almost just, you know, dummy of a person, or this hollow shell person. All of your hate goes into that, and then obviously, as I say, like, the cliffhanger spoiler alert, the cliffhanger is, you know, this is the byproduct of their so-called help, you know. And there's another bit where this woman, this evil, horrible, corporation-y woman, says something as stupidly annoying as, this is amazing, he's the sort of, like, you know, oh yeah, there, patient 280 truly is the gift that keeps on giving. Crimes to keep you awake at night. Oh, no, this bit actually. And the worst case of multiple personality disorder on the records. No shit, Sherlock. Look, he's multiple. Oh, he's got multi-personality disorder. Multi-personality disorder, because obviously he's an alien that, as I say, has definitely been around the block and has a lot of different incarnations of being different people, and or, you know, he's in his 9th incarnation, so he's been 8 other people, and that. So of course he's got, you know, a split personality disorder of sorts. You know, wouldn't anyone if they were eight different people, and that, and I really like that because I'll be honest, I would say it's a unique idea, but I am aware of the 11 in Big Finish Audio's Doom Coalition, or Collaboration, or Doom Coalition, I think it's called, and that. But I really like the idea of doing it with, say, a sort of split personality type thing with the Doctor, because obviously more than, say, the 11 and or even maybe the Master, we definitively know, and for the most part, ideally, depending on how clued up you are in with Doctor Who and the lore and mythology of it, or the longevity of it, you know, most of us are very clued up with the different incarnations of the Doctor, and very we've familiarised ourselves with quite a few of the different incarnations of the Doctor, even if it's just the modern series. That's, you know, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then, you know, War Doctor, that's 5, 6 if you count Paul McGann's mini episode or prequel to Day of the Doctor, you know, incarnations. And so, you know, to see all of them, you know, and him, you know, and to see them also grotesquely, you know, incarcerated in one sort of horrific body is just really distressing, especially because he's the hero really of this show, and all the adventures. And whereas with the 11, it's like, you know, a schizophrenic master almost, and or, you know, Time Lord even, going between all these different incarnations, where that one, well, to my knowledge, isn't going between lots of different incarnations. If anything, it's one big blobby, hatredy, horrific, the worst parts of all the different incarnations of the Doctor blobbed into one, really. So, but yeah, I would definitely recommend this Doctor Who issue. Even if you're not a massive fan of the Ninth Doctor, I would go so far to just say it's a must-have. It's, you know, 10 out of 10, it's a must-have. You need to buy this one immediately, if you're any bit into Doctor Who and or reading our comic books. Thanks for watching, comment, rate, and subscribe.